So we're here in Oviedo today talking to a home buyer. His name is Marcus. He and his fiance have been looking for a home since October of last year. In that time frame, they say that they have bid on between 15 and 20 homes, seen around 30 homes, and over they just got outbid. When you first started this process, what did you think? Were you optimistic, thinking it would be fairly easy to find a home?
Yes, it was a emotional roller coaster, really, because at first we were putting in these bids and we were even going above asking price at the beginning, but we were being priced out, by the commercial corporations coming in with cash buying these residential homes.
He kept a folder of some of the 30 or so homes that they visited during their 6-month search, from Winter Park to Chulliota.
How frustrating is that you put your life savings toward this goal of buying a home and you're competing against a corporation that has, a bottomless pocket, basically?
It was very frustrating. It was very discouraging, rather, because then it was like, we found another house and we would put a bid on that and we would walk away from putting the bid on the table or the offer on the table, and we would walk away, and Heather and I looked at each other and was like, we're gonna get outbidded on that, on to the next. And that's with our live offer on the table.
Well, in this situation, I think anybody who's trying to buy into this market right now can relate to the idea that you're putting in multiple offers, you're getting outbid over and over again, you're going over your budget just to try to get in the door to a new home. And this is a story that is not unique to Marcus and his fiance. It's something that a lot of people are going through right now in Central Florida.
Daryl Fairweather is Redfin's chief economist. We drilled down the company's data and found the disparity is even worse in some of our predominantly Black communities.
Well, after the last housing bubble burst, we made it very difficult for people with less than perfect credit or patches in their job history to qualify for loans. And oftentimes that's been Black and brown people who haven't been able to access mortgages the same way that white people have been able to. And then they end up with the only option being renting.
And so that, I guess, leads into the gentrification of those communities.
Yes. Anytime that you have more renters than homeowners, gentrification is a risk in terms of displacement, in terms of being people priced out of where they can live.
We talk about the way that people are being priced out of those neighborhoods. This shows the exact process of how that's happening. The investors are coming in, they're purchasing the homes that maybe would have been affordable to families who have been born and raised in those communities, and making that goal of home ownership out of reach for a lot of people.
In 32805, which includes Paramore and Washington Shores, the population is more than 70% Black, and last year 45% of homes sold were purchased by investors. 32811, which includes Carver Shores and Richmond Heights and is nearly 80% Black or Hispanic, saw more than 200 homes purchased by investors in 2021, accounting for nearly 40% of homes sold. And 32839, Holden Heights and Millennia, where 3/4 of the population is Black or brown, saw 37% of homes sold to investors. Those sales could price people out of the neighborhoods that they've called home. Anyone looking to buy a home in Central Florida is competing against them, and anyone looking to rent may be calling them landlord. Investors are sweeping up properties in our area faster than almost anywhere else in the country.
Orlando's, it's just getting bigger.
New Yorker Christopher Mayo is one of those investors exclusively eyeing Orlando.
So right now I have about 11 properties of my own, personal, and I'm managing almost 20 right now for other individual investors as well.
9 Investigates went over data compiled by Redfin, which found Orlando was among the top 10 metros in the country for investor purchases last year, with at least 11,740 properties in 2021, about 22% of all the homes sold.
We were here in Winter Park today talking to Christine. She's a real estate agent who told me that her clientele has sort of shifted over the last year or two. She's representing a lot more investors now, and some of these people have never stepped foot in the properties that she helps them buy.
A perfect example is a property I listed in Waterford Lakes last September. We had 10 to 12 offers. We received a cash offer from a conglomerate property management company for $25,000 over list price, and was being very flexible with the seller.
Real estate agent Christine Elias has seen it all. She's represented buyers like Mayo on investment deals and regular home buyers trying to compete. She says in many cases, neither stand a chance against larger corporate investors dominating the market.
It really is about rental rates. We still have some of the highest rental rates, not only in our state, but in the country.
Though the Fed has taken steps to cool the market with increasing interest rates, steps to reduce massive increases in rental prices have failed.
And because we don't have any rent stabilization controls, we don't have any sort of government involvement in protecting consumers, protecting renters from price gouging on rent prices, the market is just charging whatever it wants because it can.
State Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith supported rent control measures both at a state and local level, but says our government is now a bystander in the ongoing crisis.
State government can't just back away and say, this is not my problem to solve, we have no role here. Government is supposed to protect Floridians from price gouging, from this housing crisis that we're having right now.
And in this post-pandemic world where people no longer need to live where they work, warm weather locations like Florida, with the added bonus of no state income tax, will continue to be hot, meaning investors aren't going anywhere.
Do you ever feel like, I don't want to call you a villain, but do you ever feel like you're part of the housing crisis?
I don't think so, because I know when to, I'm capped to a certain limit on a property. You have the corporations that are not capped. So I would say maybe less of a villain, if anyone wanted to call me a villain.
Well, I think there's a couple different takeaways. I think on one hand, anybody who's trying to buy in this market right now can relate to this issue. It speaks to the frustration that maybe you have saved and squirreled away money for years and years and years to try to get into a property, and right now it seems impossible because of the investors that are coming in with cash and outbidding you on these homes over and over and over again. The other, I guess, wider angle look at this and what interests me as an investigative reporter is how this is leading to maybe the demise of some of our communities, where families are now being priced out of the communities that they have lived in their entire lives. Once those prices go up and families who've lived there for a long time can no longer afford to live there, that really changes the character and the look and feel of those communities. And I think that that's something everybody should be paying attention to.
Hey, I'm Martha Sagowski. Thanks so much for checking us out on YouTube. If you like our stories here, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks.